Hey everybody, Zizzac here. This time I'm going to be taking a look at the Redakai basic Metanoid figure. Metanoid is one of the basic figures for the, I'm guessing what they're calling it, Wave 1. You can see on the back here the other figures. So altogether we've got 6 basic figures. We have Spycore, Harrier, Bruticon, Kemaster, and Skaracnaz, and of course Metanoid himself. And they didn't have Bruticon, that's why I have Metanoid. So it's a pretty basic package. Just simple blister card package. You can see the card that it comes with. And Metanoid is one of the very few figures that has a light feature, which you can see there, which we'll get to in a little bit. Before we take a look at the content, just finish taking a look at the back of the package. You can see it says the mightiest warriors in the universe up at the top. Little bio, I guess, up at the top right says, when Kai brings Metanoid to the battle, Lokar's forces know that they are in for a fight. Metanoid can generate and control plasma to blast evil with the power of the sun. And you can see he comes with the hyper-hypnosis weapon, which is really weird for Metanoid to do. And you can see his little function where you can project the microglyphs onto whatever you want. Alright, now let's look at his exclusive card that comes with him. He comes with a red attack called Plasma Sword. You might be able to see the animation there. It's just a fiery sword kind of coming forward. It's a red attack, like I said, 250 power, hits the top damage zone, and it's a react that you pay 1 to discard it, and your attacks have plus 200 power this turn. And it costs 2 Kairu, and it's the same silver foil treatment as every other exclusive is. And just in case you ask, the number is 1-ATATAT-3005. Okay, so now let's see what the Plasma Sword card looks like in the Microglyph animation unit. Kind of just looks like somebody wobbling a sword back and forth. Woohoo! Okay, so now let's take a look at Metanoid himself. He comes in at about 4 inches tall, so he's kind of in scale to other 3.5 to 4 inch figures. So let's get a close look at Metanoid here. You can see he's got constant grumpy face. So if we look all over his body, he's got some really nice rivets all over him, really all over the place. He doesn't really have like the jewel thing in his chest, but that's because of the feature. Overall, he just looks really, really good, except for the huge thing sticking out of his back for the feature again. But other than that, he looks really nice. You can see the battery door for the batteries. He looks really, really good. They did a really good job on this, actually. I love the silver on this guy, too. It actually gives it a metal steel kind of look. As far as posability goes in this guy, I was actually really impressed. I was expecting something like the Ben 10 figures, where it's just like shoulder and like the head turned side to side. But no, he's actually really posable. I'm at the head here. He's actually on a ball joint, so he can look left and right. He can get barely some up and down, but if you go too much, you're just gonna decapitate him. But he can also get a little bit, just barely some side to side if you mess with it. His arms rotate 360 at the shoulder. They go outwards at the shoulder on a swivel hinge. Elbows go not quite 90 degrees. There's not really much range in his elbows, but there is a swivel actually inside the elbow. The elbow's almost on like a Reveltech hinge, and so the elbow does turn out there. There's no wrist articulation though. For the legs the hips are kind of like on a universal hinge, so they can go outwards pretty far and can go forward and back. Can't go forward that much. They can go back a little bit. There's a swivel at just below the knee. About 90 degrees articulation in the legs, and no articulation in the foot. But for a basic figure, that's pretty decent articulation. The one thing I think would have really helped this guy is some kind of waist articulation, but they might not have been able to do that because of the electronics inside. And yes, speaking of electronics, he does have a projector built into his chest. You see this little square right next to my thumb here on his, I guess, belly button. If you push that, his chest lights up. It's a pretty bright light, too. What that is it's actually a projector, kind of like the microglyph animation unit. You slide the corner of a card into a slot back here, and it will project one of the microglyphs onto whatever you're projecting onto. So for instance, if we take his plasma sword card, you can see we just stick it in the back here. You gotta push it all the way in until you kind of hear it click. And now he can kind of just walk around with a huge card in his back. But now if you push the button, he will actually project one of the microglyphs. You can kind of see it on my hand. So you can see it actually does a really good job of actually projecting the image as long as it's kind of dark. And it can get pretty much as big as you want it to. And here's Metanoid just projecting some other random cards I've got. Here's him projecting a laser claw. That looks kind of cool. Here's an electro cage. And here's a cyber leeches. And here he is projecting a hyper-hypnosis just because of his accessory. Whoa! That's really scary. Metanoid's only accessory comes in this little hyper-hypnosis thing. As you can see, it's just this transparent light blue plastic with the eye from the card and just a little peg on its back. And what you do with this is you just take the peg on the back and insert it into the hole that the light's coming out of. Like so. It doesn't click or anything, it just kind of wedges itself in there. And now he's blinking out of his chest. I don't know. The instructions call it a shield, but the cool thing is you can still activate the light feature, so you can get the middle to light up like that, which is kind of creepy. I like how it actually lights up the entire peg that attaches to it, so it looks like it's actually like beaming out of his chest and then splitting into this. That looks pretty cool. And here it is getting some of the lights off. Yeah, it looks pretty cool with the lights off. That's kind of cool. This basic Metanoid figure is a fairly strong start to the Redakai figure line. While having decent articulation for posability and great sculpt for the collectors, this figure is still made of good material and is quite durable enough to survive being played with by small kids. Add to all that a neat and interesting gimmick that again adds play value to a product that you already own, and Redakai is already 2 steps ahead of what most other new toy lines that are coming out this year can do. As always, Spin Master definitely knows how to make a good first impression. Well guys, that's it for my Redakai Metanoid basic figure review. If you guys liked it, be sure to like it and subscribe, and if you have any questions, don't be afraid to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. And before I go, I'd like to give a shout out to Alien Games. It's a game and hobby store in Jinx, Oklahoma, and they are currently still the only place in Oklahoma to have a League store. So if you guys are in Oklahoma and you're around the Tulsa, Jinx, Broken Arrow area, definitely come by and say hi to us and play a couple of games of Redakai with us. They've got tons of product and they do Redakai Leagues every Saturday, with tournaments coming very soon. If you guys want to find out any more information about Alien Games, you can go to the website at myaliengames.com, or for more up-to-the-date news, you can find them on Facebook. Alright, thanks guys. Have a nice day. No, Plasma Sword!